Okay.
So,
Now, Don,
yes.
correct me if I'm wrong here.
I will.
But I just found out that Barack Obama, you know who he is.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Well, he gave a speech somewhere, and it's now running on YouTube or MyTube or somebody's tube.
Yes.
And in this speech, he says the way to solve, now listen carefully, the way to solve the energy problem, not his energy problem, the nation's,
Yes.
is if every American puts exactly the right amount of air in all 4 of his automobile tires
Yes.
and has a tune-up, then the whole thing's solved. You don't need to do any offshore drilling or onshore drilling or backyard drilling for oil or North Slope of Alaska drilling. The problem's solved. Now, this man wants to be commander-in-chief of the military and is going to appoint the Secretary of Energy and be the president. He's got the Oval Office, that place, in the...
Yes.
Does that make sense? Or does that make you a little, I don't know, nervous?
In Obama's mind, apparently it does make sense, but it's so ridiculous that it's all over a lot of websites, and
so you're a skeptic.
And the McCain campaign is going to jump on this because.
Do you
the
think
American
so? This
people,
week or next?
there have been a lot of polls. First of all, the
I know they
Republicans
do rapid
are
reaction.
bashing the Democrats for not taking up any kind of an energy bill to deal with the high price of gas and the high price of oil. What they did was they took up this $11 billion pork barrel in the Senate, and they're going on vacation for the month of August.
Thank God.
How do you like that?
That's terrible.
And they're not going to deal with energy because they're afraid the Republicans are going to offer an amendment to say, let's drill for oil so we can bring down oil prices and bring down gas prices. And what the Democrats don't want to see prices come down. They like things the way they are because they think it'll help them. And so Obama gives this speech, and say, if you just put enough air into your tires and get a tune-up, this would offset any need for drilling for oil. He is so anti-drilling, and of course he's pandering to the environmentalists in his party.
You think?
And I think he becomes a laughingstock because of this.
You don't think there's any merit to what he's suggesting? I mean, think of it, Don. Hundreds of millions of tires with exactly the right amount of air.
Yes.
Coasting along streets and highways. I mean, doesn't that picture do something for you?
It says to me that maybe we got to start charging for air, and then maybe we could offset the deficit by bringing more revenue into it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, right.
Don't take me seriously.
Let me see your Democratic credentials.
But this all fits in with the whole Republican offensive. When you see these polls, Americans
you say
are
the
saying
Republicans are offensive?
They're offensive against the Democrats on energy, and the Democrats are doing nothing and letting the Republicans, presumably, and motorists and Americans twist slowly in the wind.
They're letting the Republicans twist.
They're letting.
Isn't that a good tactic?
Well, no, because. Americans by 65%, 75%, 85%, depending upon which poll you look at, say we should drill offshore, we should drill in the wilderness areas.
This is mostly
we should become more independent.
Responding.
We have a lot of oil under the ground, and we need to drill for it. And the Democrats just seem to be against that and say the problem is all speculators.
Why aren't the Democrats
what nonsense?
Twisting slowly in the wind then? They seem to have the wrong position.
Well,
wouldn't this help account for the bump that the contrarian bump that Obama got in the Gallup USA Today poll, where he's 4 points after Obama's grand tour of the world. McCain. I'm sorry, did I say Obama? McCain.
Right. 4 points up.
4 points up.
That's right. And you say, well, isn't this hurting the Democrats? Yes.
Like the American voters. That's the interesting part.
Yes. The last Gallup poll, they asked people what they thought of Congress, and it was the Democratic Congress. It was down to a record low of 14% approval. That has never been that low before. So Americans are down on the Democratic Congress, and maybe as a result, they're not going to pick up the seats they're expecting in November.
The Democrats aren't going to. You think they will not? That the Republicans may actually hold on to their minority as it stands, or even increase their.
I'll tell you,
diminish the size of their.
I'm not willing to make that flat.
You're not going to go that far.
That far.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, after today, nearly 2% economic growth in the second quarter. That's makes things are looking a lot better, and maybe we are in a recovery. And if that's the case, then McCain's got a little more fuel behind him.
Yeah, well, it'll go faster if you'll put air in your tires, and you can have by the way, a tune-up What do you drive? I forget.
Yes. Well, I barely drive a very old car.
Yeah.
But how about this? There's a lot of
Is it
air
an
here.
American car?
There's a lot of air here in Washington.
There's
Hot air.
All the air you
Yeah,
can
and maybe that's the solution to our energy problems.
Did he say hot air?
He did.
He did. Okay. Just the right amount of air in your tires.
We lost the light.